Welcome back. Dale Myers with Vision Advanced. Today we're going to discuss how we might emulate Elon Musk, problem solving for entrepreneurs and leaders. And we're focusing on Elon Musk. A brief background for those who don't know, this guy is a billionaire, started Tesla Motor Company when many said that it hadn't been a U.S. automaker, a new startup automaker in this country in decades, and they said it was just too complex; it couldn't be done. When NASA canceled the space program, and people were saying, "Well, what are we going to do?" Well, this guy said, "Well, I'll build rockets and go to space." When he couldn't find a chief engineer for his SpaceX program, he became his own. Now, obviously, unless you studied some form of engineering, you probably couldn't become your own chief engineer. But the reason we're having this discussion today is because I was listening to one of his talks and presentations, and they asked him, if someone wanted to follow in your footsteps, be a trendsetter, be a problem solver, be someone that's a known go-getter, that does what others say are impossible, what would you suggest for them? How could they follow you? And of course, in a true humble nature, he said, well, they shouldn't follow me. They should, try to be better than me. But then he also touched on this piece, that he thinks that one of the best career fields to prepare you for success in business and in life in general was physics, engineering. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go into engineering, but what I am suggesting you do is revisit how you frame problems, how you look at the world, your problem solving approach. And this will affect how you look at the problems in your business, how you look at the problems in your life, and your approach to solving the problem. It's not about the mathematical stuff. I know some of you guys are afraid of math, but it's about how you look at the world. So outside of business consulting, I do football training in one of my other businesses. And then the one that I've been doing for the last 9 years is tutoring and test prep. And what I tell people is that, sure, I will help your kid pass a test. But what I really do is I teach them how to problem solve. I teach them how to think about problems. So what this does is this carries on into other areas of their life. This is consistent with what Elon Musk is saying. He's not telling you to go and study engineering per se. What he's saying is that physics and engineering force you to look at the world, to find the interrelatedness of things, to find the thought process, to develop the thought process that says, I can find the possible in the impossible, and to learn how to ask the hows and the whys, or find the answers to the whys. Okay? So, again, so I'm giving you this information, and I'm saying I'm not telling you to become an engineer. So why am I giving you this information? 2 reasons. One, if you have young kids, grandkids, this is why you don't allow them to not take physics in high school. It used to be mandatory. It's no longer mandatory. Yes, physical science. I think all kids have to take physical science, which is introductory physics and chemistry. You should insist that your child take physics. It's not the math. The reason they study is often not the math. It is conceptual understanding. But this teaches you how to think and solve problems. I would even go so far as to say that this is probably one reason why so many people that are mechanically inclined also build fairly successful businesses, because there actually is a link between being mechanically inclined and being able to think about the way things fit together. Those of you who are successful in business, you found a way to understand how all of these moving parts and pieces fit together. Your business operates as a machine, orchestrated and designed by you. You have to understand how this piece of the puzzle relates to this one way over here and this one down here. The inputs, the outputs, the sequential spacing. This is engineering, baby. This is why business is tough. This is why life is tough. So you don't have to become an engineer. You don't have to become a physicist. But you do need to learn to think like one. To think about how things fit together. So, I actually would suggest in your spare time, you just go back and just reread. And again, the math is, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but that's not the biggest part. The biggest part is train your brain. Now, there are some other resources that you can use, and I will, I'll come up with a list of some other things, some specific steps that I would recommend you take. But I just wanted to impress upon you, because I'm about forward and future thinking. This is why I insist to people, make your child take physics. It trains your brain to think and problem solve. As an adult, your life is filled with problems. If you are a leader in your family, your job is to solve problems. That is one of the main goals of a leader, is to solve the problems that the organization is faced with. You are a problem solver. Learn skills, learn things to help you be a better, more efficient problem solver. So, just want to share that with you. We can emulate Elon Musk by training our brain to think, training our brain to become better at problem solving. We can solve the problems in our world to help us better serve our families, to better serve our organization, uplift our communities. And it's to that point, changing communities, revitalizing communities involves re-engineering of the thought processes that got you there. This is why I do what I do in all of my businesses. My goal is to significantly impact communities. We change the thought process. We devise better action plans, take better decisive actions. We get better results. Re-engineering America. My name is Dale Myers with Vision Advance. Leave some comments below. What have you done that's changed your thinking, that's elevated your game? I'd love to hear about it below. Let's go. It's enough talk. It's time to do some work. Get going, y'all. See y'all soon. Take care.